What is up, nerds? It's Britts J here, bringing you guys what seems to be the usual Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Nuke gameplay. Today we have the Scar H on Derail. Actually, I have a funny story about this this gameplay. So I'm playing with Brody, and before the match, Brody he tells me, he's like, "Hang on, I have to Skype somebody. They have a question for me or something like that." And I was like, "Oh yeah, no problem." And then about midway through the game, I just completely forgot he told me, and so I just talk the entire time. I'm like, "Oh, Brody, I'm about to get this nuke. Like, I'm really, really close." And he wasn't responding. I was like, "Dick, what a dick." And so he never responds. And then at the very end of the game, as soon as I call it in, he sends me a message, and it wasn't even like a voice message. It was a text Xbox Live message, and it said, "Yo, what was that nuke?" And I sent one back, like, "Weren't you listening?" And before I could send it, he joins the party. He was like, "Hey man, good job." I was like, "Oh right, you were right." But yeah, this gameplay's a little interesting. I get all my stuff shot down like within seconds of it going up into the air. So this is a nearly kill streakless nuke. And I will say I camped this building really hard. But you know what? I'm not even embarrassed. They were rushing me. I didn't really have a chance to leave. So yeah, enjoy that, guys. Now, today my topic is something that Brody discussed in one of his most recent videos, and that is the topic of asking out girls. Now, obviously, it takes a lot of courage to ask someone out, you know, especially somebody who you've been quote-unquote pining over for, you know, X amount of time, and so what my typical strategy is if I've never hung out with this girl, I won't immediately like say, "Hey, let's go on a date," you know, because I feel like that that's a little too forward. You need to kind of ease them into it. So if I've never hung out with them, I'll be like, "Hey, do you want to go get ice cream, or do you want to go get coffee?" Coffee is the #1, by the way. Not only do I love coffee, but like it's just so easy to sit and chat with somebody while drinking a cup of coffee. And then if there's any awkward breaks, you can just take a sip of your coffee. And so yeah, I always do the coffee, and then typically there's a neighborhood here that has my favorite coffee shop, and it's down by the river here in Calgary, and so I'll go do coffee, and then there's like a toy store near it. There's obviously there's the river. There's well, there's multiple attractions. There's always like, you know, performers on the street busking and stuff. So there's never a shortage of entertainment down there, and it's always a good time. So that's my typical first date spot. It's definitely my favorite first date spot. Actually, with my ex-girlfriend from around this time last year, when we first met, I met her at like a festival for drama, and so we meet there, and it was like, you know, we were introduced by a mutual friend, and then so, you know, we kind of got to know each other. Not really. We just started texting, and then I invited her out to go get I think our first time hanging out was we went and got ice cream. Yeah, we went to this really old neighborhood here, and it's really cool because there's it's where a military base was in World War II, so there's all sorts of plaques around it and stuff. And it's easy to just stop and read, and there's a lot of playgrounds, so we basically just walked around that neighborhood, ate some ice cream. If you want to find out how I found out she was crazy, let me know. I have a ton of commentaries I want to do for you guys, but I don't know which one I want to do first, so I might say that a few times in this video. Now, on our second quote-unquote date, I mostly just call them pre-dates. Like, if my family's like, "Oh, you have a date tonight?" I'm like, kind of a pre-date. They're like, "Oh, okay, we see." So, yeah, basically, our second one, we went to this neighborhood by the river and just walked around for like 4 hours and talked. And there had been a flood here, so so it was all still kind of in recovery, and it was actually kind of cool to see all the damage and stuff. And so yeah, and then on our third day we went and we just sat on a hill for probably 2 or 3 hours just talking, and then that's when we had our first kiss. Yeah, I know. But yeah, this like my top suggestion would just be find somewhere that you are comfortable, find somewhere that you kind of know the area and what there is to do around it, as well as just like you can't be awkward about things like that. It's you know, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. That's just the way it goes. So yeah, as you see, I got the nuke there. Now, there are a few commentaries I want to do for you guys. Number one being I want to do the ex-girlfriend commentary. I do want to do my Slutty Night Part 2, as well as I met a girl on Tinder and went out with her on sort of a blind date type scenario. So let me know which one of those you guys want to see. I hope you enjoyed. Like, favorite, subscribe. You know what to do. Later, guys.